I don't think I've ever told this story, so I'm gonna share this story with you. The wife and I had been married maybe a week or two, right? We hadn't been married very long, newlywed couples and stuff, right? We decided that we were going to go over to my mom and dad's for the weekend. So I let my mom know, hey, we're coming in. So we went over there, whatever, and we got there on a Friday evening, and we're sitting around, what have you. And my dad asked the wife, he says, hey, do you like squirrel meat? My wife trying to fit into the family and stuff. This is all new and whatever, right? She says, yeah. And she'd ate squirrel meat and stuff in the past. I mean, so it wasn't something that was foreign to her or anything, right? And my dad's like, well, he had just had a messy young squirrel given to him. And so he says, I'll fry us up some squirrel for breakfast, and we'll have some squirrel and biscuits and gravy. I get up the next morning, whatever, and my dad's in the kitchen and, piddling around cooking, whatever. Mom's in there and what have you. And so we sat down for breakfast, and we're sitting there and we're eating. And, it's a good tender squirrel. It was fried up good and had homemade biscuits and gravy and everything and eggs, and it was all real good and everything. Now, my dad had this thing about, there's no way to put this. He loved squirrel brains to eat with his eggs. And what he would do was he would fry the heads of the squirrels up and crack them open and get the brains out. And he'd mix it in with his eggs. It's just as disgusting as it sounds. And so he starts working on these squirrel heads to get, and I'm sitting there and I just look at him. And my wife gets this horrified look on her face. And I just see the color literally leaving her face. I mean, she's just turned ashen white. I look at my dad and I said, what are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean? As he's gnawing, trying to, because, on a squirrel head, he's literally gnawing on a squirrel head. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'm getting the squirrel brains. I said, are you trying to cause a divorce for me? He goes, what? And he looks up, because he's my dad, okay? My dad was oblivious to other people. It's just the way he was. He lived in his own little world. And so he looks up and he's like, what? And he's got this squirrel head in his hands. I'm like, dude, you can't. I said, no, Dad, no. He's like, what? And I had to get up and let my wife. She had to leave the table. I told my dad, I said, listen. I said, it's your house. I know how, whatever. But all I'm saying is could you maybe have eased into the crazy a little bit? Did we have to go from like zero to like orbit level of crazy? I said, you're sitting there cracking in skulls of a squirrel at the breakfast table. The first time you sat down across from my brand new bride, and he's like, what? They don't. I said, no, Dad, her family doesn't eat squirrel brain and eggs. I said, my dad's like, well, what's their problem? I said, they don't have a problem, okay? Oh, golly. My wife, bless her heart, was able, she kind of composed herself, whatever, came back and finished eating breakfast. I don't think she ate any squirrel that morning. I think that put her off a squirrel for the morning.